The road to $10,500 rolls through the Lone Star State Texas Motor Speedway hosts round number 5 of the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship. Tim Terry and Nim Cross here to call all the action for you, and Nim, the 40 best, are getting ready to do battle for 167 laps.
Yeah, they're about to get it on for this championship, where the champion will receive over $10,500 and be able to stand on the stage with the NASCAR stars down at Homestead, Florida.
As the drivers finish their final preparations for the race, point standings coming into this evening's racing action, Nim. Mike Conti leads by 1 point over Ray Alfala. He lost a lot of his point lead last week when the series headed to Las Vegas, and Las Vegas was one of those races where we had some pit strategy play in at the end, and Jake Sturgis hit the jackpot at the end of that one.
Yeah, a lot of new drivers up front in the finish of that race, but Ray Alfala is at the part of the schedule where he likes. It's a lot of drivers' tracks. He's good, got great setups for these tracks, and he has been making a strong move to the field. Now, our defending champ is only 1 point out of first place.
And looking back through the top 10, you have guys like Brian Schoenberg and Robert Hall who should be quick in the next few races. You have guys like Michael Johnson who surprised with a top 5 finish. You have Jeremy Allen, Tyler Hudson, Marcus Lindsay, Pat Baldwin, and Richie Davidowitz, your top 10.
On 11th on back is Nick Ottinger in 11th. Carson McClellan is 12th. Carson Charles Nussbaum 13th. 14th is Chad Coleman. 15th, Chris Main. 16th is Brad Davies. Charles Cosper 17th. Daniel Pope is 18th. Brian Bushberger is 19th. And Kevin King round out your top 20.
And you have a lot of drivers back outside the top 25. Of course, the top 25 is that bubble to lock yourself into next season's NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship. You look at that, Nim, you have guys like Thomas Hazard, you have guys like Kevin King, who at the start of the season thought that they were going to be right up there. And now you look at, after 4 races, guys really have to find their way into the series. Or at least in the top 25 to have a shot at this.
Yeah, you got to be in the top 25 to, like you said, to stay in relegation. If you want to be in this series again next year, you want to finish in the top 25 in points. Outside of that, then you're going to have to re-qualify, and you don't want to do that because qualifying is going on right now. Through the first 9 months of 2012, people will be trying to qualify to make a Pro Series that will get them into the qualifiers that will run through next fall to be able to qualify for this series. So you don't want to go through all that because there are thousands of drivers out there trying to qualify for this series, and it just takes a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of luck just to be able to get involved in those qualifiers to get in this series. The competition is very, very heavy, and you want to try to get in the top 25 now. It'll be a lot easier to do so now than to wait for that.
So these drivers are getting ready to head to the grid in just a few moments' time, and we'll get underway with the first 1.5-mile cookie cutter racetrack of the season. Of course, Nim, we'll head to Charlotte later in the season. We'll head to Atlanta, but first, the Texas Motor Speedway is the first of those, I guess, sister tracks that you can call it. What do we expect here at Texas?
Well, I think you're going to have a lot of good close racing. Coming off turn 2 here is pretty tight. The banking falls away really quick, so the drivers will definitely have to stay low as they exit off corner number 2. If you get stuck on that outside lane, it can be pretty tricky. And I think if we see a lot of problems tonight, it might be coming off of 2 over there. Coming off turn 4, still pretty tight, but the banking stays with you for a little bit of time there, and it's a lot easier than coming off of 2. So we're going to have to keep an eye on turn 2. Okay, your starting lineup on the pole for this race here at Texas. On the pole position is Nick Ottinger, a qualifying time of 28.196. Outside of Ottinger in starting second position is Josh Berry
Row number 2, Nim sees Michael Conti to the inside, 28.218, identical time to Josh Berry, and to the outside, John Adams in the 84.
Starting in inside third row, Michael J. Johnson will go off from the 5th position. Outside of him, your Pro Series champion for last season, last fall, Alex Warren, in car number 82.
It's all Sim Chassis. In the next row, 7th place belongs to Carson McClellan, and to the outside, 52, Pat Baldwin.
Or number 5 on the inside, your defending champion, car number 2, Ray Alfala. Outside of him, car number 29, Kevin King.
3rd place in points sees the double 5 of Brian Schoenberg, to the outside, the 89, the Viper, Landon Harrison.
Row 7 on the inside, Brad Davies. On the outside, Robert Hall.
Byron Daly will roll the 91 from 15th as we roll off the field here. The 6 of Steve Sheehan is next in 16th.
Tyler Hudson, the inside of row number 9, and outside him, Josh Connors.
We got Jake Sturgis rolling off from 19th, and to complete the top 20, your Pro Series winner from Texas, Marcus Lindsay.
Cyril Nussbaum for France starts off 21st. Outside of him, Paul Kashiba starts 22nd.
Josh Lawton rolls off from position 23, and Vinny Sansone rolls off 24th.
Charles Cosper goes 25th. Chris Payne 26th.
John Gorlinski rolls off 27th, and yes, boys, he's back in green, Brian Blackford, number 33.
29th, Pedro Mojica. Outside him, Thomas Lewandowski.
Thomas Hazard will roll off position 31, and position 32, coming off a top 5 run, is Brandon Bookberger.
Chris Overland goes 33rd. Outside of him, in 34th position is Chad Coleman.
Andrew Fayash III rolls from 35th, and 36th, Daniel Pope II.
37th, John Prather. Outside of him, Brad Wright.
Completing your field here this evening is the number 10 of Connor McKenzie and the 98 of Justin Thompson. Getting ready to see the green flag for the first of 167 laps around the Texas Motor Speedway. Glad you could be with us here on iRacing Live. The first racing Ford Mustang pace car getting ready to head to the infield, and the field will be in command of the Ream Chevrolet of Nick Ottinger. Here we go. Green flag set to fly here. We are underway. Nick Ottinger puts the hammer down and tries to leave everybody else in his dust. Here comes Mike Conti to the inside.
Yeah, a little bit of a checkup back in rows 2, 3, and 4 there, but everybody got away pretty clean as the car number 46 of Carson McClellan, he makes a move around Alex Warren for about the 4th or 5th position there.
Carson McClellan is coming underneath the 39 of Michael J. Johnson. He closes in on Mike Conti, and the number 5, the 46, was shot out of a cannon. Up to position number 5 and looking for 4th on the 5.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of cars that are strong here early on, and then we're going to have a lot of cars whenever the first caution flag comes out. They're going to make some pit stops to make some adjustments to those cars and get them dialed in. There's a lot of guys who and we have a new leader now as Josh Berry goes for lead.
Josh Berry to the lead position. Nick Ottinger back to second. Now John Adams is all over the back bumper of the Ream Chevrolet Impala. The GSR Chevrolet looking for position number 2. And Carson McClellan, I don't know what he has underneath his hood, but man, that thing is hooked up early.
Adams looking down on the inside. He's making passing, looking some good. He's up there passing Ottinger on the 05. Ottinger may be one of those cars who's going to be looking for that first pit stop to make some adjustments on his car, but he's dropping back real early.
And here comes the champ, Ray Alfala, looking for position number 4 as Carson McClellan goes to second on John Adams. Adams back to third. Alfala up to 5th as Conti scrapes the wall in corner number 4. As he moves back, Ray Alfala unofficially right now, Nim is your point leader.
Yeah, Alfala, well, that's no surprise. I think he's going to be tough to beat all season, and people are really going to have to step up their game to challenge Ray, but he's looking strong early on.
Here comes the 82 of Alex Warren. Warren looking on the number 2 of Ray Alfala. That's one driver that's really surprised me, Nim. The opposite way as you look at Nick Ottinger almost lose it at a corner number 4. Alex Warren has had one of those seasons to forget, at least the first couple of races this season, looking to change his momentum.
Yeah, he's going to want to. He's had some strong runs, but hasn't really put together that finishing position yet. As Ottinger gets a run down the outside of Alex as they go in corner number 3, but Alex has the preferred line, and we saw as Ottinger was a little bit loose that last lap by Alex. Now looking strong and should pick up that position down the front straightaway.
Enter Brian Schoenberg into the mix. The Obuto Gaming Cockpits, number 55, looks underneath the 05 of Ottinger. Here comes Brad Davies, and here comes the 6 of Steve Sheehan. They're all looking underneath the number 5 of Nick Ottinger. At a corner number 2, down the back straightaway, you ride on board with the Realtree Chevrolet Impala.
Yeah, as we're inside with Brad Davies here, our point leader, last time coming out of corner number 4, scraped the wall a little bit, but he's able to keep it under control and still moving on.
Sheehan now looks underneath the number 05 of Ottinger for position as the Spy Optics Chevrolet looks to pick up one more and put himself a little bit further up in the top 10. That's the battle for 8th as they go into corner number 2 and down the back straightaway. Here comes Kevin King, new colors for the 29.
Yeah, 29 looks to the inside, and he will be able to pick up that position on Ottinger. Ottinger struggling early on. He's going to want that new pit stop, and we'll see if we can get it. But 40 cars on this track, they can go a long time, as we saw in the Sprint Cup Series this past Sunday. You can go a lot of laps here without caution flags.
And look who's making his way to the front as well. Jake Sturgis, number 41, underneath the 05 of Ottinger. Your winner from last week, proving that it really wasn't a fluke. Nim 41, looking strong early.
Your point leader falling back to the 26th position as we look through Jake Sturgis right now, as Tim said, coming up the field, running strong. And you're right, anybody in this series can definitely win a race, and Jake's win last week was certainly not a fluke.
55 to the outside line. He loses 1, 2, 3 positions. Robert Hall going to try to find a place in the line. Schoenberg shuffled out of line again. The 41 makes the move, and just behind them, here comes Byron Daly. The GSRacing.net Chevrolet picks up one more.
Byron Daly had a number of crashes early on this season. He's looking to put together a good run here at Texas.
You ride on board with the Murph Dog, number 29, at Kevin King as he looks up to Steve Sheehan, looking for one more spot. That is the battle for position number 7, as here comes 29 under the 6.
The 29 makes the pass on Sheehan right there. We're looking for about 55 to 60 laps or so, Tim, on gas. So we're going to need at least 2 pit stops this race, probably 3 by the time we get to the end of it, if it were to go green the whole way. And, probably not. We'll probably have a couple cautions here and there, but at least 3 stops for the whole distance here.
Fantastic racing all through the pack. 30 of Robert Hall looking underneath the number 6 now is Steve Sheehan. Robert Hall in the Sim Chassis Chevrolet going to try to pick up one more here, and he does. Keep in mind his teammate Carson McClellan is running in position number 2.
Yeah, those guys definitely practice all week and should have very similar setups under those cars. Carson McClellan currently chasing down your race leader, Josh Berry, who has about a half a second lead over McClellan, and then it's about a second and a half back, maybe 2 seconds back to the third place car, John Adams.
82 of Alex Warren shuffled to the high side. Kevin King in 29 looks underneath for the spot. The 30 of Robert Hall going to try to follow him through as well. He's going to pick up, or lose 2 spots, I should say. Kevin King and Robert Hall going to pick up a spot apiece. So Alex Warren back to about position number 8.
Jake Sturgis looks to the outside of Steve Sheehan around corner number 3 and 4. That's a pretty tough pass to make. He has to lift a little bit coming out of corner number 4, not able to make it happen, but a pretty aggressive move up there on the outside.
And you can see that car nearly get away from him coming out of corner number 4 on the outside line. Now 41 looks underneath the number 6 of Steve Sheehan. Steve's one of those drivers, you're really going to have to force a mistake out of. As you look at the battle up in front, here comes Ray Alfala to the inside line. John Adams to the outside. The 11 of Brad Davies going to follow Ray through the pack.
Davies is somebody who needs to make a good run here today. He's had a lot of strong runs and strong moments in the series so far this year, but he's not really put together the really good finish yet. And Brad really needs to start putting together those good finishes if he's going to challenge for this championship.
And right now, looking at the champ just in front of him of Ray Alfala, and right now with Michael Conti having his issues, he would unofficially be the point leader at this juncture in the race. Michael Conti, by the way, position at 38 right now out of a 40-car field.
Yeah, he's gonna have to work hard, and it's still early on, and a lot of these guys, like we said, they're looking for that first pit stop to make adjustments on the cars and get them dialed in. And a lot of guys are riding right now, and those guys who may need the pit stops, and with everybody riding, as we look back from the rear bumper of Steve Sheehan right now, if everybody's just riding right now, it's less likely that we're going to have a caution, and that's what they need to do. So we'll see. That first pit stop still about 40 laps away if we go green.
Looking back here through the pack, looking for some battles, and I see the 99 just lost a position. A Cyril Nussbaum to the number 32 of Paul Kashiba. New colors in the number 99 is the 99 of Cyril Nussbaum. Gives Kashiba a little bit of a tap down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Cyril Nussbaum racing with us from France. As you see all these drivers out here, this is a NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship, and all these drivers here are racing from the comforts of their own home and their computers. Cyril racing with us from France, and a lot of these drivers racing mostly from the U.S. in this series, but a lot of drivers, from all around the world. So,
as these drivers race up at a corner number 4, Cyril Nussbaum takes the spot away from Tyler Hudson. Hudson falls back one as Paul Kashiba is on the move about mid-pack. He looks under the 38 of Chris Main. Main going to lose one position to the 32 car.
Yeah, Main just moves up, kind of lets him go. Chris running pretty smart here early on, just trying to save his tire, save his car for the end of the race. A long race, 167 laps is the distance of this race. We're currently working lap number 18, so still a long way to go.
Just ahead of them, I see the 17 car of Brandon Buchberger closing in on the number 21 of John Gorlinski. Another driver that really needed a good run last week. Nim got it in the 17. He looks underneath the 21. Down the back straightaway, Brandon Buchberger and the JDR Graphic Chevrolet trying to pick up one here. And it's so big. Momentum is so big in the series, Nim. The 17 missed Daytona, and he was in the top 5 last week. That momentum means everything in a series like this.
Yeah, and it helps out a lot. Like you said, he missed Daytona. He's missed a race compared to most of these drivers, and he's still currently in that top 25 in points, currently finding himself 19th in points right now, which puts him into that one of those guaranteed positions for next season and getting stronger every race.
And just creeping up into that picture as well, I see the 33 of Brian Blackford. That's the Simplex Media Solutions Chevrolet, and he's had some tough luck. All throughout his racing career, Nim, his sim racing career, he's been racing a car that's been green. It's back to being green this week after being white last week. And the first couple of weeks of the season, he's trying to change his luck. Usually green on a race car means bad luck, but for Brian Blackford, it's the exact opposite.
Yeah, a lot of superstition in auto racing, and you'll find it here too. People don't like to have green on their cars, don't like to have peanuts in the pit area or anything like that. Just these superstitions that drivers have in their mind. And Brian got kind of tired of the luck he was having, so he kind of went the opposite way there and put some green on his car to see what happens.
Your leader continues to be the number 72 of Josh Berry. Carson McClellan is closing in a second, albeit by fractionally. Brad Davies is in third. Kevin King sits in position number 4 right now. Check that. They've just swapped that position. Kevin King in position number 3. Brad Davies in 4th. And Robert Hall completes your top 5 with Jake Sturgis closing in as well in 6th. As the 3rd through 6th place battle right now, single file. One little mistake, though, is going to open the door for the other competitor.
Jake, before his win last week, car number 7 comes down pit road. Jake wouldn't put in a whole lot of time when there's setups and things like that. It's these drivers, it takes a whole lot of time, to find setups on your cars. But after his win last week, it looks like Jake has gotten a little bit more serious about what's going on, and he currently running up in the top 10, maybe putting a little bit more time on those setups.
And we talked to him last week in Victory Lane. He said that he was focusing on the roadside because that's where his strong suit is. But you're right, Nim. It looks like they're focusing a little bit more on the oval side as the 41 closes in on that 30.
It's pretty impressive to be in the top series in both oval and road. And there are a few drivers who do that, but there are very few who have the talent to be able in the top. There are 32,000 people plus, 32,000 drivers on iRacing.com, and to be a part of the elite in both the oval and the road series is pretty impressive.
The 5 car was just on pit road. Michael Conti, the point leader, coming in, and as he's getting service now on pit road, back up in front. It looks like Brad Davies and Robert Hall are getting at it. Robert Hall was flashing the nose underneath the number 11. He's still looking to the inside about a corner number 4. This time by 25 complete as the 11 of Brad Davies looks like he might lose 2 here.
Yeah, it looks like Brad will lose a couple. But if you're pitting now, Tim, lap number 25, you know, you could probably go 55 on fuel, something like that, 55 on tires. If you're pitting now, you must really not like your setup, because you're going to lose a lap pitting here, and you're going to find yourself way behind, losing track position. And if you're pitting now, you're really suffering on that setup.
I think if you're a guy like Mike Conti and even Nick Ottinger right now, who was out front, now he's about mid-pack, if you're really struggling with the setup, I agree with you, Nimya. I think you have to come on to pit road, especially if you're losing a whole lot of time like that. But if you're a guy like Josh Berry or Carson McClellan, who's absolutely flying at the front of this field, I think you need to stay out until that fuel runs out of that car and you're really forced to come down pit road.
Yeah, definitely. There are a number of real-world race car drivers here. These guys are obviously race car drivers, NASCAR sanction drivers in this series. And Josh Berry right now, he's a late model driver for Dale Earnhardt. And a number of these drivers, Jake Sturgis drives supermods up in New England area. And a lot of these drivers run a number of different cars. But our leader out front right now drives late models on the weekends for Dale Earnhardt Jr.
I saw the 52 of Pat Baldwin come onto pit road. Another one of those drivers that drives a late model, I believe it's at Kingsport Speedway, is the 18 you see on your screen right now of Daniel Pope the second, 47 just in front of him of Chris Overland. That's the battle for position number 27 down the back. And it looks like the 18's released a little bit of pressure that he had. He might be coming onto pit road this time, Nim. Watch the 18. Daniel Pope the second going to come down to pit road.
There's lap number 29. So that's still pretty early for a pit stop. Trying to make it through, so he's going to get some new tires and probably a new setup on that car, adjusted setup on that car, fuel, and he'll be on his way.
Back out in front, it's Josh Berry, but he has company. Carson McClellan is there in the number 46, looking to pick up the lead position. It's Main Performance PC versus Sim Chassis in front of the field. Down the back straightaway they go. 72 leads to 46.
Carson McClellan looking really strong from his starting position. He started somewhere, he started in 7th position, now currently up making a challenge for that lead. But these are two guys who don't want to see a caution flag. They want to see this thing go green the whole way because they're looking really good out front right now. They have a almost a 4-second lead over the rest of the field.
And that's Kevin King running in position number 3. Jake Sturgis, Robert Hall complete your top 5 right now. Alex Warren is on pit road in the number 82 car, getting service to the GSRacing.net Chevrolet. As you look back to the 46 of Carson McClellan, it was almost a second between he and Josh Berry, and now it's about a car length and a half.
Yeah, McClellan's right there. I don't think he wants to force it so much. He'll get up there, and if he has an opportunity to take the lead, I believe he'll do so. You know, he definitely wants to get that point that you get, extra bonus point for leading the lap. But it doesn't look like he's really taking it to Josh right now. He's just kind of hanging back and pretty happy with his position right now. So we have a couple more cars go ahead and pit road.
Pit road becoming a busy place. Charles Cosper, after a top 5 finish last week, is down on pit road in the 03 car as the leader just passes the 03 and the pit road. The 72 of Berry and the 46 of Carson McClellan leads your field in corner number 2. We are 32 laps complete, working lap 33 of 167.
Looking back at the 3rd and 4th place battle right now, Kevin King holding off the challenges of Jake Sturgis right now, last week's winner. King has a number of race wins under his belt also, running in that 3rd spot. Always strong, Kevin King is, but Jake Sturgis up there running a 4th, doing a great job right now.
King trying to hold off that number 41. Sturgis won his first career NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship event 2 weeks ago at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, so looking to build on that momentum that he gained a couple of weeks ago, and now he's looking underneath the number 29. Great run by the 41. In 3 and 4, he sucks right up to the 29.
Looks to the inside now, down on the inside, going through corner 1 and 2. He has position. Kevin recognizes that and lets off and lets him go. He doesn't need to be battling real hard early on in the race here, so he just lets Jake go. As Jake gets a little bit tight coming off corner 2, that lets Kevin close back in on him.
So Kevin will close back in as Josh Berry continues to lead Carson McClellan out in front of the field. Robert Hall completes your top 5 right now, and Robert Hall at this point uncontested. for that position. We work under the green flag. 28 drivers are on the lead lap. We have everybody back to 39th, 1 lap down. Charles Cosper right now is 2 laps behind the pace.
Looking back at the 6th car of Steve Sheehan, he's got a number of cars. That's Vinny Sansoni right behind him with Brandon Bushberger right there. Ray Alfala leads this group as they come off corner number 4. Vinny Sansoni looking to the outside of Sheehan as they come down the front straightaway. That's a strong move.
Sansone to the outside of the number 6. The 17 of Brandon Buchberger looks like he's going to go to the outside line as well. The JDR Graphic Chevrolet as the 80 on the outside line. Muscles that car to the position. No, here comes the 6 back on the inside line. Fantastic 2-lane battle for position at position number 8.
Yeah, we talked about earlier before the race started how tight it was coming off corner number 2 there on the outside. We saw Vinny had to let off a little bit as he was coasting out toward that wall there. Now he's still challenging up top. Down the front straightaway, Sheehan still has it that lap, but Sansone still fights for it up in turn 1 and 2.
17 in the mix as well, looking to make something happen on the number 80. Should the 6 of Sheehan clear Vinny Sansone? As you look back to Brandon Buchberger from the 6 on the outside line, continues to be the number 80 of Vinny Sansone. Here comes the 17 again, creeping into the picture.
Sansone still up on the outside, still side by side between these two drivers. Sheehan on the inside, Sansone up on the outside. Down the front straightaway, it looks like Sheehan still has the advantage.
48 closes in on this battle as well. That is Brad Wright, but I believe the 48 came down pit road, so he is not on the same lap as these drivers battling for position. And you can see what that pit stop did to the 48. He's right up there.
Yeah, he's going to have trouble getting around these two cars, but they do get sorted out just a little bit. They're not side by side anymore, so that'll let Brad Wright be able to have a run. But now Sheehan looks like he may want to challenge Sansone back.
Sansone takes the spot for the time being. The 6 now sees the 48 to his rear bumper. The D&D Repair Incorporated, number 48, looking at the number 6 of Steve Sheehan. 17 is there as well as the 48 flashes the nose underneath. Going to put the whole car there, and looks like it's going to make it work. Steve not giving him a whole lot of room to operate. Gives Brandon Buchberger a little more room underneath the number 6. Buchberger picks up 1.
Yeah, Sheehan really pinched down on Brad Wright there, but he didn't want to let Buchberger have a chance at that position. But Sheehan couldn't do anything about it as Brad went through. Buchberger put his nose in there also, and Sheehan really had to give up the position.
We work lap number 41 as that's completed there. Josh Berry leads Carson McClellan, and just behind them you see 2 drivers that have already come down pit road. Charles Cosper in the 03 is 2 laps back. Landon Harrison, the Viper, number 89, is the first driver that is currently 1 lap behind the pace as he falls back a little bit to the pace of your leaders.
Nick Ottinger, who was our pole sitter early on in this race, has made his pit stop, and he's back out in the track.
As the leaders go into corner number 2, the 03 of Charles Cosper closing in, looking to unlap himself at least 1 lap in the 03.
You're looking at your leader, Josh Berry. He's out front right now with a 0.4 of a second lead over Carson McClellan. McClellan has about a 3.7 second lead over Sturgis. So Jake Sturgis over the last few laps has cut that lead down to a couple tenths of a second. But right now, 3.7 seconds back for Sturgis in the 3rd position.
Vinny Sansone is on the move as he closes into Ray Alfala. I'm not sure if maybe Ray falling off the pace a little bit or the 80 and 17 stepping it up a little bit, but Sansone and Buchberger are at the rear bumper of the champ Ray Alfala. This is the battle for 7th you're watching on your screen.
Sansone having a really strong run right now, as well as Buchberger. Ray Alfala we're used to seeing up in the position he's in, actually probably a little bit further up, but Ray, we're not going to say he's struggling in the 7th position right now, but Vinny Sansoni making outside passes and going to the outside, real close to the wall, coming out of corner number 4 right there. But making outside passes, you got to be working well to be able to do that here at Texas.
And you look to the 17 to the outside. Brandon Bookberger going to pick up one spot as well. Ray Alfala falls to position number 9. And now I believe this lap, Nick Ottinger might be coming on to pit road as the 17 going to try to get 2 for 1. He goes underneath the number 80, going to pick up one more spot in this lap.
Yeah, Alfala didn't really want to have anything to do with that battle. He let him go. Bookberger is on the move. He will bring himself up into the 7th position now.
Oh, Nick Ottinger slide that car onto pit road, going to get it down to the 45 miles an hour, but nearly lost control of that coming off corner number 4. The Ream Chevrolet, your pole sitter on pit road.
Josh Berry, your leader in corner number 1 right now. The 05 Ottinger on pit road. Carson McClellan still right there, only 0.2 of a second now, getting closer, looking possibly to make a challenge on Berry. Definitely wants to get one of those laps led by the time pit stops are over with, so he might stay out if Berry pits. They might stay out one more lap.
And they put Marcus Lindsay 1 lap down on the racetrack, so the 1 car falls 1 lap down, and he was the winner of this race in Texas for the Pro Series last season, so you know that he's going to be good once we hit the end of the race, but he'll have to get back on the lead lap in order to do so. You ride on board with Carson McClellan looking up at Josh Berry.
Yeah, Lindsay was one of the strongest guys in the Pro Series last year, which is the qualifier for this series, and Lindsay having his struggles right here at Texas this time.
77 of Andrew Fayash III going to go 1 lap down to Josh Berry and Carson McClellan. And look at McClellan. He is right there on the 72 in the middle of the corner. Berry gets a better corner exit. 46 going to try to carry some of that momentum down the back straightaway. And look at the 72 for the lead. I'm sure the 46 wants to lead a few laps here.
Yeah, I think he does too. We're working lap number 50 right now. Probably about 55, maybe to 60, somewhere on fuel. But these guys are getting close to their pit stops now. And, I don't know if the McClellan or these guys are friendly at all, and Josh might be able to give him a point right now or not. We'll see what happens. But most likely, if Josh has been out front, Carson has been running hard too, so I'm not sure that Carson would have an extra lap of fuel to try to stay out longer than Josh.
In front of your leaders is the 45 of John Prather as he is set to go 1 lap down. The 6 of Steve Sheehan, as you just saw a couple of laps ago, just came off pit road in the Spy Optics Chevrolet. So he is going to try to work his way back onto the lead lap as the 45 Whiskey River Chevrolet of John Prather has the 72 just behind him.
The 72 car needs a good run. He hasn't had a good season yet, or a good series at all yet this season. Right now, running in first place, he is back about, about 43rd in points right now. So he really needs this good run to get him back up in the top 25 in points.
And correct me if I'm wrong, then I believe the 72 had a prior commitment at Daytona, and he missed the Daytona race. So he was another one of those drivers that really had to struggle to get back up in the series. Keep in mind, this is a 17-race series with 1 drop week, which means your worst week, your worst points finish per se is dropped. Josh Berry's drop would be that 0 from Daytona, so really he can't afford to have another bad week, and he struggled just a little bit out of the box, so he's got to pick it up in these final few races of this season.
Well, he's had some good strong run too this season, at where we've seen him up front, but circumstances, crashes, things like that have ruined those good finishes and good runs that he has had. Josh certainly a top 10 driver and somebody who's strong week in and week out.
33 and 55 battle mid-pack as the 10 of Connor McKenzie comes onto pit road, and the 10 of Connor McKenzie misses his box on pit road. He's going to have to back up 3 stalls. Oh boy, tough break for Connor McKenzie.
Yeah, so that's a lot of stalls to miss. He finally gets it on to his pit spot, and his crew able to start working on that car right now, but that'll cost you a ton of time on the track.
Another driver looking to catch a break this season, Connor McKenzie. It's been tough luck for him so far in 2012 as the 55 of Brian Schoenberg underneath the number 21 of John Gorlinski. He's got the 33 and 16 in the same pack, Brian Blackford and Thomas Lewandowski.
So we're looking at the 55 coming down. He's going to be making his pit stop right now with Brian Blackford up on his outside old pit. Hard on the brakes coming down pit road, and he'll have to hit that pit speed limit, which is 45 miles an hour at this track. So he's got to keep it under 45 miles an hour going down pit road.
You watch the 55 of Brian Schoenberg coming onto pit road as your leaders are set to make pit stops here momentarily. 55 of Schoenberg gets into his box, and the virtual crew will go to work on that race car. Right side tires going on the double five.
Lap number 57, the 46 car in the picture, second place car. 4 tires and fuel and some adjustments to that car most likely, and he's down and on the way.
Leader is on pit road as well. Nim Josh Berry onto pit road. He's going to relinquish the lead for the first time this evening. He's actually going to lead that lap there. He's going to lead lap number 57. But Berry onto pit road to get service to the 72. He stops in his box. Looks good on the entry.
Yeah, Josh will take 4 tires and fuel and some adjustments to that car, and he'll be on his way.
Your new leader should be the 11 as Brad Davies now going to come on to pit road. He's going to have to slow it down to 55. That might have been a little hot. He got in the grass coming on to pit road to slow it down. Brad Davies, a tough entry. We'll see if the in-sim officials, I guess you call it like that, or if he gets a black flag from the simulation for going a little too fast coming on.
Yeah, he tried to correct it by going the first few segments down pit road about 35 mile an hour. We'll see if he gets penalized or not. He'll take 4 tires and fuel.
Brad Davies takes 4 tires. Carson McClellan should be your leader as here comes the 72 of Josh Berry to the back bumper of the 46 of Carson McClellan. Carson never led that last lap. I'm sure he's trying to hold on for one more lap to get that extra bonus point.
Yeah, Brad Davies was your leader that last lap. 72 down to the inside. 72 is going to take this lap back, so he will lead this lap. And Carson McClellan not able to lead the lap during that segment of pit stops.
And a 28-second stop for Brad Davies. That is going to kill his chances, at least at this point, albeit it is a long race. He has many opportunities to gain that back if he can. Here comes the 72 with Josh Berry down the back straightaway as your leader.
All pit stops have cycled through now. Josh Berry, your leader. Up front, lap number 60. Now what we're going to see here is a lot of guys made their pit stops early, about lap 25. Those guys will be working to about 60 laps from now, 50 laps or so from now, and they're going to be making their pit stops in about 25 laps. So we'll see a never-ending cycle of pit stops if this thing goes green flag the whole way.
Hey, Nim, remember we mentioned that Michael Conti was running about P38? He's up to P5. He's about to lose that to Kevin King in the 29. But Michael Conti is now in position at number 6. So Mike Conti trying to hold on to the top 10 finish.
Yeah, he had those new tires, and he's been running on fresher tires for the last 25 or 30 laps compared to everybody else. So he was going to pick up a lot of spots, and he was going to make a lot of time through the field. Now, the next 25 or 30 laps, he's going to struggle. Everybody else has got fresher tires than he does, and he's going to be dropping back. So right now, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Right now, he's on position number 6, and we'll see where he's at about 25 laps from now.
Robert Hall picks up a position on the 52 of Patrick Baldwin. They just passed Josh Lawton in the number 40. So Josh Lawton, after having a good pit stop, moves back just outside the top 10. Michael J. Johnson, I think I mentioned before we came on air, Nim, he's had a fantastic season so far. He's sitting in position number 5 in the standings. He's sitting in 8th place right here, which might about to be 9th, as here comes the number 30 of Robert Hall underneath Michael J. Johnson, but still 39, fantastic season so far.
Yeah, Michael J. Johnson has been running good. He's definitely made a statement that he belongs in this series, and he's going to run hard, and he's going to run strong, and he's going to take home some of that prize money at the end of it.
Right now, falling back behind the number 30 of Robert Hall, and he is flying to the front of this field. Tyler Hudson now on the list for the number 30 of Robert Hall, and We saw this play out last week, Nim. That was the car to beat last week, the number 30 of Robert Hall. And circumstance put him outside the top 5 at the finish. But now he's trying to get that first win out of the way, and he might very well do it here.
Yeah, Roberts had some really good runs here of late and has been running really strong. Still early on in this race, he's proven to be pretty strong. He's definitely got a shot at it.
And makes it look easy underneath Tyler Hudson. Move Hudson back to position number 8. And now Mike Conti is next up on the list for Robert Hall, but he is 2 seconds in front of the 30 as the 2 makes a position up on the 98 and 17 as they battle for what is now position 14. 98 and 17. Good to see Justin Thompson up there in the top 15.
Ray Alfala, your point leader, currently he just moves past Justin Thompson, and he's up in the 13th position, as you said there, Tim. We usually see Ray up a bit higher in the races here today. Might be struggling a little bit, but struggling for Ray is 13th.
Michael J. Johnson has his hands completely full with Patrick Baldwin, Landon Harrison, and the 40 of Josh Lawton. Landon Harrison, I believe, has scored 1 lap down right now, way back in the field. Position number 39 right now for Landon Harrison, so he scored 1 lap down, but he seems to be running up here with these guys that are flirting with the top 10.
Patrick looking underneath the 39 car as they come off corner number 4. Patrick Baldwin down to the inside of Michael J. Johnson, and he will pick up that spot. Johnson up on the outside might be in danger of having the train of cars go by him right now.
Landon Harrison looking to make it happen underneath the number 39. Now here comes the 40 of Josh Lawton. Josh Lawton and the number 39 would be a battle for position. The 89 is not on the same lap as these cars that he is battling.
Looking back from the rear deck led of Harrison right now as the 40 car of Joshua Lofton makes his way through. Ray Alfala looking to make his way past Michael J. Johnson also.
Nick Ottinger here as well in the number 05, running in position number 12, but that could change to 11th place underneath here. Brad Wright is not on the same lap as these drivers. The number 48 is scored in P40, 1 lap down.
Mike Conte makes his way to pit road, so just outside the top 10, or now definitely outside the top 10. Remember, he pitted on lap 25 early in this race, now pitting on lap number 70. So it's only been about 45 laps since his last pit stop. That seems a little bit early again, Tim. You know, pitting lap 25 and then 40 laps from there. That's pretty early.
Looking at Nick Ottinger right now, the Ream Chevrolet looks over his teammate Josh Lawton in front of him. The Gale Force Sim Racing teammates right now running in positions number 10 and 11th place respectively as they battle for the top 10 spot.
Since the cycle of green flag pit stops, Josh Berry came out and was able to take that lead over Carson McClellan before Carson was able to lead the lap, but it looks like that Berry crew made some adjustments to that car and has it working a little bit better than he did on the first stint, because right now he's starting to stretch it out over Carson McClellan just a little bit. A 1.3 second lead over McClellan right now, and then it's 4.5 seconds back to Kevin King, who runs in the 3rd spot.
You're right on board with Ray Alfala in the number 2 as he battles with Landon Harrison. That is not a battle for position. Landon Harrison currently scored 1 lap down in the Viper Technologies ETV number 89 as the 2 of Alfala now chases the 52 in front of him of Pat Baldwin. Baldwin has had a great season as well, Nim. He runs in position number 9 in the standings and runs position number 8 on the racetrack.
Yeah, and anything in the top 10 is a strong finish for points. If you finish in the top 10, you've had a good point day. And Patrick keeps putting together those top 10 finishes. He's going to be in a good spot come the end of the season.
The Pro Geek Consulting Chevrolet Impala looking over the sim chassis. Chevrolet Impala, you watch the battle for 8th as they battle 12 seconds behind your leader Josh Berry in the number 72. We've been clean and green for the first 74 of 167 laps around this Texas Motor Speedway, and as you said earlier in the show, Nim, it seems like these guys maybe took a little bit out of the playbook from the Saturday Night Sprint Cup race. These guys going with a lot of green flag racing.
Yeah, it's a good wide track. It's got its definitely tough spots, but you can race well here. You have plenty of room, and there's no reason why you can't have good long runs here. 40 cars on this track. I know a lot of sim racers out there would love to get a race in with 40 cars on the track, and a great racing and no cautions like this. As Tyler Hudson's crew looked to see Tyler come down pit road. But, all these guys out there doing a great job right now, and if you want to join them right now, or if you don't have an iRacing membership right now, you can go to www.iracing.com, buy 1 month, and get 2 more for free. So you can try us out. For the price of 1 month, you get 3 total months.
The 01 onto pit road as Ray Alfala just made that move on the number 52 of Pat Baldwin to put him up, now in position at number 7. So the green flag pit stops beginning once again. Josh Berry has a 1.4 second lead over Carson McClellan.
Looking back from the rear bumper here of Patrick Baldwin back to the Nick Ottinger car, the 05 car, who started on the pole, currently running in the 9th position right now, actually improving. As we saw early on, Ottinger lost a lot of spots, but right now running a bit stronger as now he challenges Patrick Baldwin for the 8th position.
05 and 52 as they battle for position at number 8 as the 40 car also looking at a position battle between himself. Check that he's coming onto pit road in the number 40.
05 makes that pass on Patrick Baldwin for that 8th position. So Nick Ottinger is on the move.
Looking to get back up near the front of the field is Josh Lawton, and the number 39 of Michael J. Johnson are on pit road getting service to their race cars. Josh Berry is your leader by 1.4 seconds over Carson McClellan. Kevin King is in 3rd, Jake Sturgis 4th, and Robert Hall complete your top 5 as Robert Hall is looking to make a pass on, it looks like Connor McKenzie, to put him in the rear. McKenzie not on the same lap.
Yeah, Robert Hall look at the inside of the McKenzie car now going down the back straightaway. McKenzie doesn't have anything to challenge Robert Hall right now. Hall makes his position. Robert Hall up into the top 5, currently 10.2 seconds behind your race leader of Josh Berry.
As you see the 30 go down now into corner number 1 as he just completed that pass on Connor McKenzie. It looks like Brad Wright has pulled it into the garage area. The 48 not on the racetrack at this point, so it looks like we still have 39 drivers on the racetrack as Josh Berry continues to lead. Carson McClellan has bit into that lead a little bit, but I believe it was the 72 dealing with some lap traffic there, so that might be the reason why it's now 1.3 seconds as opposed to 1.4 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Brad left the pits, but he did pull into the pits and looked like maybe a mechanical issue or some kind, or something going on there with Brad Wright's day coming to an end early on in this race.
Leader is coming up on some lap traffic. Josh Connors, Brad Davies, Chad Coleman's a little bit faster than these drivers as you ride on board with your leader looking up at the traffic he's about to deal with. The 24 of Pedro Mojica, the Mohican Missile, is also up there as well as they work down the back straightaway.
You know, another one car up there is Brad Davies. Davies, we talked about earlier, a challenger in last year's championship, a challenger in most every race that we see. He's been struggling a little bit this season. Now we see Josh Berry looking only a few car lengths behind him, looking to put Davies a lap down.
And Josh Connors is in that mix as well, as he's one of the drivers who really likes these 1.5 mile cookie cutters. He won a pole in the Pro Series at Atlanta, but right now struggling a little bit with the Ultra 4 Sim Alternatives Tim's Corner Motorsports, number 15, as he now sees the leader behind him.
Looking about halfway this time by, currently ending lap number 83, starting lap number 84, so halfway. We are Josh Berry, your leader, by 1.4 seconds over Carson McClellan. Kevin King, 4.5 seconds behind him in 3rd place. Jake Sturgis backing up that win in Las Vegas 2 weeks ago. He runs 4th. Robert Hall is your 5th place running right now 10 seconds behind the leader.
Alfala, Ottinger, Baldwin, Daly, Thompson, top 10, as Chris Overland has caught your leader, as the leader has caught Josh Connors in the number 15. Ooh, this could get exciting here. Here comes the 72 to the inside of the 15. 47 going to make it 3 wide in the middle.
That's Chris Overland through the 3 wide. Fresh tires will make you feel like Superman sometimes in that car, and I'm not sure the other guys appreciate it too much, but Overland, right now with those fresh tires on, he feels like he can do anything he wants to, and obviously he can, because he just drove right through the middle of those 2 cars.
And just in front of Oberlin now is Pedro Mojica and the 11 of Brad Davies. And Chris got to be a little bit careful with this slower traffic that's going side by side. They're battling for position right now. Chris is trying to get every position that he can to get closer to the lead lap, but he's really got to be careful right now not to mow over some of these drivers.
Yeah, he's got fresh tires on, and he needs to do his very best to make up as much time as he can while he's got these fresh tires on, because in about 10 laps or so, these other guys are going to start pitting for tires, and they're going to be the ones with the advantage. So he's got to get it as much as he can right now, but he's got to be careful, because if he were to cause an accident to bring out a caution flag, that might not be to his advantage.
Mike Conti is 1 lap down now in position number 27, as he has Landon Harrison behind him. That's a battle for position, as is the 77 of Andrew Fayash III. So 27, 28, and 29 on your screen right now. Your point leader, Mike Conti, in that 27th position. Ray Alfala, second in points. He runs P6. And looking back here in NIM, it looks like the 21 and 33 are battling for position 16 and 17 right now. Brian Blackford closing in on John Gorlinski. This happens about 25 seconds behind your leader, or just about a half straightaway in front of your leader, Josh Berry.
Yeah, Berry is closing in on a pretty good group of cars here. Probably, from around 14th on back to 21st. Right now, these guys are running about 4 or 5 seconds in front of him, and if he can put these guys a lap down, he's going to have 3/4 of the field a lap down. So, there's a lot of strong cars that Josh is going to have to work his way through. He's going to have a lot of patience. He definitely wants to put these guys a lap down, but they're going to be racing hard to keep him behind them.
Yeah, with all these drivers that are currently 1 lap down because of pit stops and they're flying to the front of the field, guys like Pedro Mojica, and you really can't blame Pedro for racing the leader hard, and Barry's going to give him a little tap saying, I'm here, I want the position away, and I want to start lapping more cars. But Pedro trying to stay on that lead lap because he knows that he might not get this lap back with the way this race is going and with the pace this race is having.
Yeah, Pedro was giving Josh a really hard time on racing him right there. And Pedro obviously wants to stay in front of the lead lap, but, you don't want to get wrecked either. So, Josh told him right there, if you're going to hold me up, I'm going to race you harder, and you're going to put yourself at more risk. So Pedro finally got the hint, and very professional the way it was done right there. These 2 guys, the tops of their class. Pedro understands what's going on. Pedro says, well, I got to get out of the way now, and then Josh works his way through.
It has allowed Carson McClellan to close in by about 0.4 of a second. It was 1.5. It's now 1.1 seconds between your top 2. Kevin King, Jake Sturgis, and Robert Hall complete your top 5 as you continue to watch Carson McClellan, as McClellan is in a huge pack of lap traffic.
Yeah, there's some guys out there with fresh tires just trying to work their way through, and these leaders don't need none of this. They don't need guys with fresh tires on who feel like they're really fast right now to come up and just ruin their race. Josh Berry right now is going to have to be worried about some of these guys, as the 46 car McClellan had to.
We have 20 drivers on the lead lap at this point, all the way back to Brad Davies in the number 11, as he sits just behind Thomas Hazard and Brian Schoenberg and John Gorlinski. as they run just in front of your leader, Josh Berry, who goes into corner number 3 right now.
Kevin King, your third place car, is currently running mid 29 seconds a lap. Last time by, he ran a lap at 29.623. Josh Berry, your leader, ran at 29.661. So a couple of hundredths of a second, Kevin King is quicker than Berry that last time by. But with 4 seconds to make up, he's going to need a lot of laps to make up that time.
And as we work lap number 95 of 167, one thing I believe we've only mentioned once here this evening, Nim, is the Twitter topic, or the Twitter hashtag for this race this evening. Hashtag Texas NiSWC. That's hashtag Texas NiSWC. I believe there is a prize for the best tweet here this evening. I'm sure Ian will confirm that for me, but I believe there is a prize for the best tweet here this evening that's sent to the hashtag Texas NiSWC.
Still looking at the leader, Josh Berry, currently stretching his lead out over Carson McClellan. 2.191 seconds is the distance right now between your first and second place car. The 03 car has some fresh tires as 72 car Josh Berry looks to put Brad Davies a lap down. The 03 car isn't going to have a lot of patience. He wants to get by these two guys.
Davies going to fall 1 lap down as here comes the 03 at Charles Cosper. Cosper looking to pick up a spot. Oh, slides that car to 4. Save it, Charles. Nice save for the 03.
Yeah, that was a good save. He had a 4-wheel drift and was able to gather back up. But Cosper running that car as hard as he can right now, trying to get that lap back.
Josh Berry continues to lead. The lead has been extended now to 2.4 seconds over Carson McClellan. Kevin King, Jake Sturgis, Robert Hall will continue to be your top 5 as we will complete the 99th lap this time by. And I see the GSRacing.net Truck Series champion from last season, Thomas Hazard, set to go 1 lap down to your leader.
Yeah, I believe Josh and Thomas are teammates, but I don't think that's going to play are into Josh's hand right now. Josh needs to get going, and he's going to probably look for some talent for Thomas to move over a little bit.
Robert Hall has ran down Jake Sturgis at position at number 4 as the 30 and the 41 set to battle for the 4th place spot as the Sim Chassis Chevrolet closes in on the most recent winner in the series.
Brian Schoenberg and Brian Blackford had some contact on the back straightaway that last lap. Schoenberg almost lost it, but was able to gather back up and continue on.
Here comes the 30 of Robert Hall. He is within a car length of the number 41 of Jake Sturgis. 2 of Ray Alfala closes in as well. Here comes the 30, flashes the nose. That's underneath the number 41. He is there as they work down into corner number 3. 30 takes the spot.
Yeah, Jake still having a really good run back in the 5th position right now. Robert Hall is still only about 10 seconds behind your leader right now, which is what he was about a little while ago. So if he were to get a caution flag, he would have what it takes to challenge Berry, but still 10 seconds behind. He needs that caution to be able to make a challenge.
And you look at lap times, the last time by for Josh Berry, albeit he is in a little bit of traffic, 29.665. Robert Hall was in traffic, 29.822. This should be a little bit of a better indication this time by as to what the lap times will be for the number 30 of Robert Hall as a 2 makes up a spot.
Charles Cosper still trying to get that lap back from Josh Berry right now. Berry trying to keep him back there. Cosper just a little bit faster, but not enough to challenge Berry. Has a little bit more in the center of the corner, but he keeps getting loose coming off the corner, which doesn't allow him to get that run on Berry that he needs to make the pass.
Here comes the 03 of Charles Cosper now to that inside line, looking to pick up a lap on the number 72 of Josh Berry. I believe that'll put him now at the tail end of 1 lap down for the number, or the tail end of 1 lap down for the number 03 of Charles Cosper. That puts him P37 right now as they go into corner number 3. As here comes 72 with Josh Berry once again on the 03. They're going to come up on some lap traffic right now. The 7 of Chad Coleman and the 55 of Brian Schoenberg also on the list. And NIM iRacing hit a huge accomplishment here this past weekend.
Yes, Tim. We ran our 500 millionth lap last week, and I believe it was Monday where it was announced that the 500 millionth lap was run. So it's a pretty big accomplishment on the number of laps and all the racing that you see going on. At iRacing, over 1,200 races a week are run. 32,000 racers on iRacing, and now we've achieved 500 million racing laps.
And I could be wrong, but I believe Steve Myers put on Twitter earlier today that I think 41 million of those laps were run at Lanier. And of course, that is the track you get when you come onto the service and you start with Legends and Street Stocks. Lanier is one of those tracks that you have to master along with South Boston to move up the ranks in the up towards this NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship. So congratulations to iRacing as the 03 and a 7 just in front of your leader as the 72 gets a run and has nowhere to put it.
Yeah, it looks like that Cosper may have used up his tires a little bit trying to get around Barry, and now the tables are kind of turned a little bit, where Barry is now maybe a little bit better than Cosper. The 7 car up there is also trying to stay on in front of Barry as if he can, but Josh right now having a lot of struggles with lap traffic.
Looking back to the 72 at Josh Berry, as you see the 11 of Brad Davies close in. Cosper had a little bit of a wiggle. It's going to open the door for the 72 of Josh Berry underneath. And here he goes to position, or not a position, but he goes past the 03 and looks at the 7 now of Chad Coleman. Chad Coleman sits back there in position number 35. Keep in mind, 7 and 03 are battling for a spot.
Yeah, working lap number 110 right now. Pit stops soon be coming up for your leader, Josh Berry, and Carson McClellan, Kevin King. Those guys will be looking to make pit stops here very shortly as Connor McKenzie heads down pit road.
So now the 7 and the 03 can continue their battle for P35 as Brian Schoenberg is next up on the list for your leader, but I believe the number 55 will be coming down pit road this time by. So the Oboto Gaming Cockpits number 55 expected to be on pit road here.
55 of Brian Schoenberg heads to pit road, and it's always a little bit of a hairy time. You come around pit road, these guys stay on the track right around to corner number 3 and 4, and they slow to pit road as Sheehan definitely has some fresh tires on the car, and he's looking to work his way by this lead pack that you see.
6 cars cutting through traffic. Steve Sheehan is on a mission, and Sheehan moves underneath the leader here. No, he's not going to get there in time. The number 6 is Sheehan, though, all over the back of the 72 of Josh Berry as they work out of 4, and here comes the Spy Optic Chevrolet.
A number of cars hit the pit road now. Barry will be probably looking to do so in the next couple of laps, but Sheehan will unlap himself. Brad Davies works his way around a couple of those lap cars that Josh Berry made his way through.
Down the back straightaway, Josh Berry continues to lead, as I believe we may have had our second place driver come on to pit road. Carson McClellan indeed is on pit road, the number 46, getting service to his race car.
Ray Alfala currently in second place, 9.7 seconds behind your leader. So your point leader, while these cycles go through, is currently in the second position. Now we're working lap number 114. So 167.
29 spins off pit road, gets going again. I don't think we're under green flag conditions here, I do believe.
Yeah, it looks like we stay green. It looks like he just spun the tires. He got into the fence a little bit, probably some nose damage on that car as he comes off corner number, or down off the pit road through the apron of 1 and 2 and back onto the speedway. We'll see if he has enough too much damage where he has to pit, or if he can stay out.
72 on pit road. Josh Berry comes down to the attention of his crew. Looks like a good entry into the box for the 72. Right side tires going on the 72 Chevrolet Impala.
Jake Sturgis now cycles his way to the lead next time by. We'll see if he'll hold on to that lead there. But your last week's winner, Jake Sturgis, currently the next car that needs to pit.
And he will do so right here. Jake Sturgis comes on to pit road. Little bit of a wiggle coming out of corner number 4 down to the 45 miles an hour. And he will come down to the attention of his crew this time by. That should put Ray Alfala as the leader. I do believe that he is coming off pit road as well. So we'll see who leads it. Jake Sturgis does lead that lap, though, on pit road.
Josh Barrentley looks to be in second place. Looks like Josh will hold that position and be out in front now as the pit stop cycles through. As we look at a replay of Kevin King, looks like he just spins his tires coming off pit road. Cold tires on the car. He's just trying to get through the gearbox and get up to speed. Spins his tires on that dirty apron. Spins around, noses in the wall just a little bit, and he's on his way.
The 72 should be your leader this time by. I do believe Josh Berry will inherit the lead back from the green flag pit stops. Indeed he does. That time by, he leads lap 1:16. Mike Conti is in second place right now, and he is off sequence with the leaders. He needs a caution flag to keep where he is in P2.
Well, they should be able to make it from here. They have about 50 laps to go. Barry makes his pit stop, and with plenty of time, so he's made his last pit stop and able to make the race on 2 stops. There's a number of cars out there, though, like Conti and like those guys who made early pit stops. They're going to have to pit again, and they're going to be in trouble if they don't get a caution flag.
Carson McClelland is closing in on the number 5 of Mike Conti, working up on position number 2. Is the 46, and he got a run in the middle of the corner. Nowhere to put it, though, on the GSRacing.net Chevrolet Impala. 5 and 46 for P2.
Yeah, the 46 car, as Conti moves out of the way, lets him go. The 46 car, very fresh tires. Conti's tires about 20-25 laps old, and he doesn't have anything to battle with Carson right now. He needs a caution. Conti, your point leader, will not be your point leader if a caution flag doesn't come out.
Hoping for a caution flag at this point as the 46 of Carson McClelland goes to second. Nick Ottinger now sits in position number 4 behind Michael Conti, and Alex Warren completes your top 5.
Yep, last time by, 48 laps to go from here. Working lap number 120 right now. Car number 30 has fresh tires, Robert Hall, and he is on the move right now, passing the 01 car, Tyler Hudson. Patrick Baldwin looking to the inside of Hudson now as they go down the back straightaway.
Ray Alfala making the move as he moves up past a couple of cars.
Trouble coming out, corner number 4, the 01 car, Tyler Hudson and Patrick Baldwin in trouble coming off of corner number 4.
So the 5 car of Michael Conti gets that yellow flag that he wanted as Conti catches a lucky break. The 01 of Tyler Hudson looks like he's sporting a little bit of damage.
Yeah, coming through corner number 3 and 4 that time, Patrick Baldwin got into the back of the 01 car, and that sent the 01 car into a long slide, and he was not able to gather it back up. They tried to get it together back up, but the 01 car goes around, and the Patrick Baldwin spins. Looks like Thomas Lewandowski there got a little bit of piece of it as he went by.
First yellow flag of the evening, as it'll have the opportunity for these guys to come down pit road and get service to their race cars, as Josh Berry will be your leader.
As they come around 3 and 4, we'll see who pits from here, and this will be interesting. The leaders just made a pit stop. Josh Berry and all of them just made a pit stop, but they do have a number of laps on their tires, and fresh is good. So most likely they will want to get it. And as though we do see Josh Berry and everybody will be coming down pit road now to get fresh tires.
So here we go. If this stays green the rest of the way, this should be the final pit stop of the evening for Josh Berry, Carson McClelland, Michael Conti, Nick Ottinger, Ray Alfala, your top 5 in the rest of this running order as the 72 comes down to his box right here, and entry is good like it has been all night.
Yeah, these pit stops and that caution flag came at the perfect time for those guys that were short pitting, because they didn't have too long to go and they were going to have to pit soon. The caution flag comes at a time where we had 30 plus cars on the lead lap, and remember, right before Barry made his green flag pit stop, we only had about 15 cars on the lead lap, so a number of drivers saved by that caution.
So looking at the replay of the first caution flag of the evening, I believe we're going to step away for just a few moments' time. Refreshing your drinks, folks. This one's going to be a good finish down to the end. Don't go away. Welcome back to the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship round number 5 from the Texas Motor Speedway. We're closing in on the finish and wrapping up our first caution flag of the evening on lap 125. Your leader is scored as the number 38 of Chris Main, John Gorlinski, Vinny Sansone, Ray Alfala, and Kevin King. Josh Berry will restart in 6th.
Chris Main gets a good jump as the green flag flies. Gorlinski doesn't get a very good jump. That allows Ray Alfala to move down inside of him. You see the guys in front of Josh Berry coming up about 4 or 5 cars in here. Probably 2 tires for these guys. I'm not sure if Chris Main took any tires. Not sure what he's doing out front there. Oh, and Sansone goes to block, and we got trouble on the back straightaway.
Caution flag will fly on the back straightaway. I believe Marcus Lindsay's just pulling away from that. Andrew Fayash is parked on the wrong way on the back straightaway, and I believe he in the 40 of Josh Lawton had contact to spur that off.
Yeah, there was also another incident up front between Barry and Sansone. it looked like Barry went to the inside of Sansone and got a piece of Sansone as they went by, and that slowed Sansone up, and he got punted and down to the inside of the track.
And Andrew Fayash, the third, is lucky he didn't get hit by anybody but the 40 car, as he got hit in the middle of the corner by Josh Lawton in front of a whole lot of traffic. And that traffic makes its way past without getting into the number 77. Close call, I believe that was for Josh Connors, or check that, Connor McKenzie, down the back straightaway. They both run the green and black colors on those race cars. So Andrew Fayash will pull away with a little bit of damage as the caution falls here for the second time this evening. Chris Main is scored as your leader.
Yeah, that incident back with Fayash back there, it looked like Lofton just ran in the back. I'm not sure if he expected Fayash to go quicker or not, but Lofton just ran in the back of him.
So Main, Alfala, Gorlinski, Barry, King at top 5, and after Kevin King spun coming off of pit road, top 5, he's still got a chance to rebound.
Yep, that's been, luckily there was a pretty large gap with the cars behind him, and he was able to get going, and with that pit stop there, his crew able to get him up to the top 5, so that's pretty good after the incident. It doesn't look like the damage to the front of the car is heavy or significant at all, as he's still able to keep speed.
First caution.
Let's see if we can't talk to the driver, the number 5, Mike Conti. Mike Conti, it's Tim Terry up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
It's been an up and down night for you. The number 5 right now running in position number 8. What do you got for the closing laps of this one?
I think I got the best car I've had this season so far. Just got a little bit off strategy there in the beginning. Had to take tires really early, and I was kind of one pit sequence off from everyone the whole race, so it was kind of nerve-wracking when I'd be a lap down. I'd have to cycle around, and you know how that works. So luckily, I didn't pit right there at the end. We got a caution, so I'm on the lead lap now and back in sequence. So I was talking to the guys down there, and I told them I think I found Jimmy Johnson's golden horseshoe that he dropped last year. But it's been the car's really good. I think we'll be able to move up here really quickly. Got a really great car. I had a couple guys work on it with me this week, and we really found a few things. So I'm looking forward to the last 40 laps or so here.
Still early in the series, but it's getting late in this race. How big are you thinking points right now with Ray running in second?
I'm not worried at all. If I think about that right now, I'm going to give myself an ulcer. So I'm out here to race and have fun and do the best I can. The points will come, with good finishes. So just going to try to get up here, pick a few more off, and try to get as close to Alfala as I possibly can, but not worry myself too much about it.
Now, before we let you go to get back to Green Flag Racing, we'll let you have the opportunity to thank those sponsors that help you get to the track each week. Who makes it happen for the 5 team?
I tell you, we're getting more and more sponsors every week, which is great. It shows that a lot of people are watching PSR TV, and it's really cool to see that. But the last 2 races here, we've had GSR.net on the car, Great Truck League, CB Photography, the Bethwood, DCS Computers, everyone that makes it possible. My parents, my family, everyone that supports me. I got to thank all of them, and I wouldn't be here without them.
That's Michael Conti, driver, the number 5 point leader, coming in this evening. Mike, we wish you all the best.
Thanks, buddy.
And he will restart from position at number 8. Your top 10 look like this. Chris Main is your leader. Ray Alfala runs in second. Gorlinski third. Barry fourth. King in fifth. Carson McClellan runs in position number 6 with Nick Ottinger, Mike Conti, Alex Warren, and Robert Hall completing your top 10. I believe the lights atop the first racing Ford Mustang pace car should be out here. Next time by, we will be going Green Flag Racing.
Only 2 cars exited from the race so far. Your first car out, Brad Wright. He left the speedway about 53 laps ago. Hope he scored in the 40th position for this race. Vinny Sansone, after that wreck down the back straightaway, will be scored in the 39th position. He has exited the race due to damage from that accident.
So Chris Main will lead this field to green. It's been a long time since Chris Main has had a top 3 finish in this series, as we head down the back straightaway getting ready to see that green flag.
Yeah, like Mike said, Mike Conti, and that when we were just talking to him under this caution flag, he said he's got the best car that he's ever had. He's currently in the 8th spot. I wonder if a number of other drivers out there possibly haven't been able to show their stuff yet. We'll see it here soon if we can get some more green flag laps in. When we only had one caution flag, or didn't have any caution flags up to about lap 120. Now we've had two in the space of just a couple laps here. Working lap number 129 of 167.
38 laps remaining in this race, and the 38 of Chris Mayne is up in front of the field. Ray Alfala, Gorlinski, Barry King. Top five, the first racing Ford Mustang pace car into the infield, and here comes Chris Mayne. Green flag flies.
Mayne leads him down to the corner number one. Alfala trying to get position over Gorlinski going down to the corner number one. Gorlinski hasn't nosed right there. Alfala has to leave a lane. Alfala very strong up top. He should have momentum to get him that second place spot down the front back straightaway.
21 now looking over the 2 is the 72, says I want third. Here comes Josh Berry. Berry on a mission as Ray Alfala looks over the lead. Chris Mayne currently occupies it.
Yeah, Mayne out front there. He's on old tires. Gorlinski now looks down the inside of the 72 car. Can't make it happen. It looks like Gorlinski trying to get that spot back down the back straightaway. Mayne blocks a little bit going down the back straightaway. Alfala doesn't make a challenge though.
Ray looked at the outside down the back straightaway as the 5 car. No, we got somebody else spinning in the back of the field. I'm not sure if this will bring out a caution or not.
Battle for the lead up front. 72 car gets moved out of the way. The 2 of Ray Alfala takes the lead. 72 moves into the second place, but Chris Mayne dropping back on those old tires now.
So now Ray Alfala holds the lead. Can he hold it from Josh Berry? And the rest of the field is the 21 of John Gorlinski. Makes a move underneath the number 38 of Chris Mayne for the spot.
Yeah, these guys get checked up. Gorlinski got checked up a little bit right there. Carson McClellan got checked up. Kevin King tried to make a move, but he had to move. There's nothing room. These guys are all hungry now. They're not giving very much to each other, and they're racing each other as hard as you're going to see right now.
Here comes the 5 of Mike Conti as well, picking up spot 46 of Carson McClellan, trying to pick up a position as well. A gaggle of cars battling for about third on back as we cross the line here. You ride on the roof of Mike Conti, but we might need a bumper shot here as it's full of Robert Hall.
Yeah, Robert Hall had a run down there. Conti stayed to the inside, not letting them by, but Robert Hall very strong back in the right behind Conti.
Conti is looking for a spot on the number 29 of Kevin King as they go into corner number 3. 135 complete this time by as Robert Hall underneath the number 5 of Mike Conti, 29 underneath the 46 as well. Fantastic side-by-side racing.
Side-by-side, 2x2, going down corner number 1. Conti up on the outside. He doesn't want to give that spot. You just heard him say he's got the best car out there. He believes he does. He believes he's being held up by the cars in front of him right now, and he doesn't want to lose any spots because of it, but it looks like he's not going to have a choice in the matter.
You look back from Kevin King's rear bumper to the 46 of Carson McClellan and the rest of this field as they come up at a corner number 4. 30 and 5 battle side by side.
Michael Conti gets a piece of the wall coming off corner number 4 there. That won't help him as now Nick Ottinger looks down and will take that position from Conti.
Just hanging on to try to salvage a great finish here as the 5 looking underneath the 05. The 82 is in this battle as well. We close in on 30 laps to go this time by.
30 laps to go. Ray Alfala, who is currently 1 point behind your leader, Michael Conti, in the point standings. Ray Alfala not in the top 10. A lot of this race fighting out just inside the top 10. Now your point leader as we get down, or now your race leader as we get down to the end.
Down the back straightaway, 46 and 30 go side by side for position. Carson McClellan trying to hold off Robert Hall. Those are teammates. Nick Ottinger's not a teammate behind them, though. It's Gale Force trying to chase down Sim Chassis as the 46 tries to hold on to the spot.
These guys are getting checked up, and you know the guy. Oh, as we got Nick Ottinger gets real sideways. He had to check up going to corner number 1, and he saved it.
And they're going to bunch up behind him. I think we're going to stay green flag racing here. Uh-oh, 3 wide. Byron Daly in the middle. Alex Warren on the outside. Justin Thompson trying to make something happen here. Here comes the 98 to the front of the field.
Yeah, Alex Warren really was the big loser in that where Ottinger got sideways because Alex Warren had to check up. He lost about 5 spots.
39 of Michael J. Johnson all over the back of the number 82 of Alex Warren. John Adams is here as well. Charles Cosper is up in this battle in the 03 as he's back on the lead lap. Oh boy, things are getting exciting.
Yeah, Conte up front there. He's making a position on Ottinger. Brian Blackford in trouble on the back straightaway. The 40 car, Joshua Lofton, he's again involved in this one, and there's a big crash on the back straightaway.
So the caution flag flies as the 40 of Josh Lawton. It looks like he just came up on Chad Coleman, got into the back of him, and the 33 of Brian Blackford was down on the inside, and they made a little bit of contact as that happened. A lot of things happening there at the same time, Nim, but it looks like those cars make contact, and Brian Blackford's green car, I don't think the green's going to help him that much.
Yeah, no, it looked like the 7 car may have got slightly loose coming off of corner number 2. The 40 got into him, but it looked like they were going to be on their way. And then the 40 moved down across Brian Blackford, and I guess he didn't know he was there. And that caused Blackford and the 33 car to have heavy contact, and include Marcus Lindsay, too. And that Marcus Lindsay, this car is destroyed as he goes down through corner 3 and 4.
Alfala looking to come down pit road here, possibly with less than 30 to go. No, he's going to throw a fake, as is about most of the top 10. Justin Thompson back there. Oh, Alex Warren, first one to come down onto pit road. Alex Warren and the number 39 of Michael J. Johnson, 14th and 15th on back coming down.
Yeah, this will be interesting now as all these drivers, or a lot of them stand out. Some of them in the back maybe headed for pit road. A few guys out in like Jake Sturgis, Steve Sheehan, or whatever, they're back in the pits now. They're going to be fresh tires, and we've seen fresh tires are an advantage. But working lap number 142 right now, 167, about 25 laps to go from here. Just how many green flag laps are we going to get in here, Tim?
Yeah, we might see some more caution flag laps in this last 25 laps than we do green, but we'll have to see, as Alfala and Josh Berry will now be on the front row for this restart. John Gorlinski, Kevin King, and Robert Hall complete your top 5. Carson McClellan, Michael Conti, Nick Ottinger with that great save is still going to be in position number 8. Chris Main and Justin Thompson complete your top 10 right now, as we have a lot of drivers sitting in the garage area after that incident.
Let's talk about a little bit about Ray Alfala. Obviously, Josh Berry has led most of this race, 120 laps worth, as we come up to the first caution flag. And as soon as the cautions start flying, Ray knows how to work it, and he knows how to work traffic position. Now he's out front. Last year's point champion. This year, he's only 1 point in second place right now. Really, the way he's been running the last couple of weeks, I think that he's really not. I don't see anybody out there who's going to have a challenge for him unless they turn it up right now. Ray Alfala just has it together every week.
And in a series like this, with only that one drop week, you really have to light it up every week in order to have a chance. Of course, Ray, we've seen before, and obviously it wasn't a NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship race, but I think back to the March on Michigan 300 that we had on here for Inside Sim Racing back a couple of weeks ago. We saw a rare mistake out of Ray Alfala in that race, Tim. Going into corner number 1 at Michigan, he hit the safer barrier, tried for a wider corner entry, and he went a little wider than he should have, and he hit the safer barrier. A rare mistake out of Ray Alfala. We haven't seen a mistake like that out of Ray in one of these races recently, so that might be what it takes for somebody to get the door maybe slightly ajar to have a shot at Ray.
Well, Ray's definitely, he's human. He can definitely make a mistake, but he's just very smart. There's plenty of drivers out here as quick as him. Obviously, we saw Josh Berry running real strong. Josh Berry's got it right there for him. A lot of these drivers are definitely as quick as Ray, but Ray is just very, very smart. He knows when to go. He knows when to, hold back and just find a safe spot. And when it comes time to be down at the end of the race, like right now, we know the way these drivers are racing each other, there's probably going to be a lot of cautions. Where's the safest place to be when there's a lot of cautions? The lead. And that's where you find Ray Alfala.
So the field has doubled up. It's Ray Alfala and Josh Berry on the front row. John Gorlinski, Kevin King in row number 2. Robert Hall and Carson McClellan, Sim Chassis in row number 3. Michael Conti, Nick Ottinger, Chris Main, and Justin Thompson, your top 10. This is where business begins to pick up as we close in on the final 20-plus laps of this race. Can Ray Alfala go back-to-back? He won this race 1 season ago. Can he win his second event at the Texas Motor Speedway? We will find out in just a few laps' time. Lap 144 will be completed at the stripe.
We'll see if Josh has led most of this race really strong. He's starting on the outside. A very difficult space to run. Alfala will have the advantage as he gets to start this race, whether he goes early or whether he goes a little bit later. We'll have something that Josh Berry's going to have to guess at. So, pace car is leaving the track.
And the green flag flies here. Great start for Ray Alfala. Gorlinski gets a great start as well. Underneath Josh Berry, he's going to take position number 2. But here they come behind. It's a hornet's nest into 1.
Yeah, Josh was a little bit, he got caught out a little bit. Ray went as soon as the pace car left the track, which is his prerogative to do, and that left Josh Berry out a little bit right there. Now Gorlinski gets by. Gorlinski's not going to be easy to pass. We got a lot of 3 wide action going for 3 and 4.
The 55 of Brian Schoenberg made it 3 wide, and they're still 3 wide trying to sort this out around Byron Daly and Justin Thompson. So Schoenberg picks up a couple of spots at the expense of guys like the 91 of Byron Daly and the number 05 of Nick Ottinger.
Looks like John Gorlinski, for second place. Josh Berry goes down the block, or Josh Berry goes to pass John Gorlinski through the block, but Josh Berry's having none of it. Josh Berry will take the second position.
And now the 29 of Kevin King will follow suit underneath the number 21. And here comes the 30 of Robert Hall. The driver that was fast earlier is now up into the top 5. Watch for the 30 to be fast into these final laps of the race. The 5 of Mike Conti is moving up to the front as well.
Conti looking to get that position on Gorlinski as they go through 3 and 4. Gorlinski stuck up on the outside lane. I'm not sure that he has the freshest tires that he could possibly have there. Conti's going to take that position going down the front straight away.
Michael Conti on the move. Carson McClelland also on the move as well in the number 46 as he moves up on the back of the number 21.
Looks like Cyril Nussbaum is in trouble along with car number 15 in corner number 1 and 2.
Tough break for the Ultra 4 Sim number 15 and the Simplex Media Solutions number 99 as the caution flag flies. And going into that corner, it looks like the 99 may have got punted by the 7 of Chad Coleman. The 52 is involved. Oh, heavy damage for Pat Baldwin. Thomas Lewandowski, the 89 of Landon Harrison's involved. Daniel Pope II noses it into the fence as well. So over a half dozen cars involved in this one.
Yeah, there were a lot of guys involved in this one. Everybody was tightly packed, and as they went down in the corner, everybody tried to miss it, but it just grouped up when Hazard spun down across the lane. That took out a number more cars, and Thomas had nowhere to go there. He was trying to keep out of other cars, and he spun to the inside, and that collected the 16 car Lewandowski and 32 of Kashiba and a number of other cars.
.41 of Jake Sturgis also got damage in that. So last round's winner is going to have to come from the rear and possibly with a little bit of damage. Ray Alfala leads this field on lap 149. They'll complete that lap this time by less than 20 laps to go. And now Kevin King is going to start on the inside of row number 2. Can the 29 possibly do what the 21 did of John Gorlinski and possibly get that second place position away from Josh Berry?
Well, Josh Berry definitely has to try to get a better restart, and I know he knows that, and I know he wants to. But with something like happens like the last restart, King will definitely have that advantage because it's easier to be behind the pole sitter and see what he's doing than to be next to him and look out your side window to see what he's doing.
And Michael Conti has moved back into the top 5 as he sits in position number 5 as we work lap number 150. It looks like Andrew Fayash III will be getting the I-Dog He will be back on the lead lap, as he will be the 35th driver on the lead lap. Currently scored as 35 on the lead lap. Marcus Lindsay, Brian Blackford, Chris Overland, Vinny Sansone, and Brad Wright out of the race.
And don't forget, if you want to join us here at iRacing and you're not yet a member, head on over to www.iracing.com and click out or check on the deal we have going on right now for new members. If you buy 1 month, you get 2 more for free. So for the price of about $12, you can join iRacing for 3 months and start on the short tracks if you like oval racing, and start out with the street stocks and the legend cars, and move your way on up to eventually be racing the Class A stock car, the Chevy Impala that you see here, that the Sprint Cars Cup, the Sprint Cars Cup races every Sunday. And we have the road course side where you can start out in the Lime Rock and places like that, and you can move your way on up and drive the Williams Formula One car.
And also, I believe this morning, Nim, correct me if I'm wrong, but Twin Ring Motegi came out for pre-order. That's going to be out in the upcoming build coming up here in a week and change. That's going to be a fantastic racetrack to have in this service, and I looked at the schedule for the Class A season for next season, 2012 Season 2, and that Twin Ring Motegi racetrack, the Oval, going to be on that schedule. So another fantastic addition to the iRacing service.
Yeah, the great thing about Twin Ring Motegi is that it has an oval track. It also has a road course that doesn't even utilize any of the oval track. It goes underneath and back through the oval track, but never actually uses any of the oval track. So that track there has a great oval track and a great road course, and I've been lucky enough to test it. It's a lot of fun, a lot of great new features as far as lighting and graphics updates being utilized in this new track. So a lot of excitement about this track on the iRacing service.
And if you haven't pre-ordered it yet and you're on the iRacing service already, head over and pre-order it so you don't have to, I guess, wait in the virtual line to get that track. You can download it as soon as the track does come out for the rest of the community. Pace car lights are out. Next time by, we go green flag racing, as we'll have 15 to go, as Ray Alfala will lead Josh Berry, Kevin King, Robert Hall, and Mike Conti. Completing your top 10, it's John Gorlinski, Carson McClellan, Chris Main, Brian Schoenberg, and Brad Davies.
"34 cars on the lead lap, and they will all be fighting tooth and nail here in the last 15 laps or so, and it will be 15 laps to go this time as we cross the start-finish line. Ray Alfala, your leader, and the pack behind will be trying to get the lead. Even the guy back from 33rd there, he'll be trying to get up here and get part of the lead, and that'll make it exciting as we head here for the last 15 laps of the race.
Can Kevin King take second place? What does Ray Alfala do on this restart? Pace car in, Ray Alfala goes, Kevin King doesn't. Green flag flies, and our battle is going to be for third, Nimitz, side by side. Kevin King and Robert Hall and a whole host of hungry drivers behind him.
Yeah, Kevin didn't get a really good start there at all. Maybe spun his tires as they went. Looks like a yellow flag is out. We got more trouble going down in corner number 1.
And Charles Hosper goes for a wild ride in the 03 car, as caution flag will fly once again, and he was on his top for a little while. Looks like he may have got punted by Alex Warren.
Yeah, Alex sent a message up to his spotter to say apologize for that, but it looks like going down to corner number 1, the 82 car of Alex Warren got into the back, and it really started up in front of those guys as they checked up, and that sent Cosper around up into the fence and on his lid.
So a tough break for Charles Cosper after finishing in the top 5 last week, and was poised for at least a top 15, maybe even a top 10 finish here this week. He's going to find himself at the back of the pack with likely less than 10 laps to go when we go back to green flag racing. Ray Alfala, Josh Berry, Kevin King, Robert Hall, Mike Conti, same top 5 that we had when we threw the green flag the last time. John Gorlinski, Carson McClellan, Chris Main, Schoenberg, and Davies, top 10.
A little bit further back, we'll go with Justin Thompson 11th, Brian Dairley in 12th, Nick Ottinger runs 13th, Adrian Polsetter for this race, Steve Sheehan 14th, Michael J. Johnson 15th, Pedro Mujica 16th, Alex Warren involved in that last incident 17th, Connor McKenzie 18th, Thomas Hazard 19th, who was involved in the previous caution, and Joshua Lofton is in 20th, who was involved in a couple of cautions before that.
Last time by the stripe in 21st was Paul Kashiba, John Adams 22nd, 23rd John Prather, Daniel Pope the 2nd, 24th, Josh Connors in 25th, Tyler Hudson 26th, Thomas Lewandowski 27th, the French Connection Cyril Nussbaum runs 28th, 29th is Jake Sturgis, and Landon Harrison completes your top 30. The IDOG on this caution is Chris Overland. He gets one of his 12 laps back.
It looks like it might be some, it looks like some trouble for John Prather right now. It looks like he may have blown up out there on the track under caution and maybe exiting the race.
Tough break for John Prather, and it seems like it's one thing or another this season for the number 45 team. I know he's been on the wrong side of that qualifying line a couple of times in the first 4 races of this season. That's tough for John Prather, a sim racing veteran, and it looks like the motor just may have expired here with less than 15 laps to go. And then in 2 weeks' time, we are on the airwaves again. We head to another fabulous racetrack for this NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship. And I'm looking at the schedule. It looks like we're going short track racing for the first time this season. We're heading to Richmond in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, Richmond's always a good track. And a lot of beating and banging definitely we'll see there. Maybe a lot more caution flags than we see tonight. But it's an opportunity for drivers who aren't the greatest at these bigger tracks, the 1.5 mile tracks and all, and that might be a little bit more talented on the short tracks like Richmond to show their muscle and get a chance at a good run.
I believe the pace car lights might be off here. If so, Ray Alfala will line up to the inside of Josh Berry. And there go the lights. The 29 and the 30 will line up in the next row. It is Sim Chassis in row number 2, Kevin King and Robert Hall.
We'll get the green flag with 10 laps to go. It'll be a 10-lap shootout. And like I said before, a lot of these drivers will try to work on their positions and get it as best they can. A lot of cars still on the lead lap, which allows guys, 32 cars on the lead lap. And even though everybody's had a whatever run they've had today, somebody might have a bad run. If he can make it work in the next 10 laps, he could work out a good finish. And that's what a lot of these guys, from as you see from the first back 3 rows on back, that's what they're thinking. I got a chance to really make this into a good run if I could just make something happen. The problem is all 32 of them are thinking something like that, and that's why we have a lot of cautions here late.
So Ray Alfala looking to get another good start. Josh Berry on the outside in the 72, trying to keep pace with him. Kevin King, Robert Hall, and Mike Conti in 5th. Conti, right now as it stands, would lose the point lead to Ray Alfala, but we still have 10 laps to go. The first racing Ford Mustang pace car getting ready to pull into the infield, and the field is in command of Ray Alfala. Green flag flies, and we are back underway. Berry gets away in 2nd. Now the battle is for 3rd. King and Hall side by side.
Yeah, Gorlinski back there in 6th spot trying to make something happen, but King and Hall still side by side. They're side by side all the way back through about 13th, 14th position. Right now, going down the back straightaway still. Robert Hall, Gorlinski looks down to the inside. He's trying to make something happen. Conti's going to have to move up the track.
Oh, Chris May nearly spins it. 3 wide in the middle of the pack. Byron Daly trying to get there as it looks like we have a caution in the back.
Yeah, it looks like Michael J. Johnson, the 39 car, in trouble in corner number 3 and 4, along with a number of other cars.
24 involved in that. That's Pedro Mojica, the Mohican Missile, and he's still spinning off corner number 4. So a tough break for Pedro Mojica as he and the 39 got together.
Yeah, 39 car moved down in front of Pedro, and Pedro, I'm not sure, if he didn't like that or whatever, but Pedro punted him, and that took him up into the wall and took out a couple of other cars.
And the 10 of Connor McKenzie also gets into the number 24 of Pedro Mojica after the fact as well. So tough break for Pedro Mojica, and it's been one of those seasons for the number 24, as it looks like he and the 39, even after the incident, him share a little bit of unpleasantries coming out of corner number 4 as the field slows down. So it looks like that might not be over. Let's take this opportunity to step away for just a few moments' time, and we'll be back to the finish of this race. Showing the top 10 here as we close in on what should be the final restart of this evening's race for the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship at the Texas Motor Speedway. Ray Alfala and Josh Berry will once again line up on the front row, but Robert Hall got that checked that third place position away from Kevin King on that exchange. We are still under caution. Next time by, the lights should be off. So we're looking at a 5-lap dash to the finish, unless the caution flag flies before then.
Will be the end of it. And it looks like May has some trouble here on their caution flag. We'll have to check it out. But some cars bunched up here at the 11 car has some trouble under caution.
It looks like the 11 of Brad Davies slowed up for Brian Schoenberg in the 55. And Justin Thompson, I didn't expect him to slow up and got on the brakes too late. And puts the 11 punted into the wall nose first. A tough break for the Realtree car. But Justin Thompson, I'm sure there might be some words exchanged here as the 11 also backs it into the wall for good measure. The front end's all dented up. Might as well back up the back end as well. Obviously fun under caution, right, Nim?
Yeah, he took some damage, and I'm sure that Davies is not going to be happy about that, but I'm also sure that Justin didn't mean to do that. It was an accident. He's probably looking down at some standings or something like that, and got into the back of Davies' car by accident. But that could ruin a good finish here for Davies and any chance that he had to move that position forward.
There go the lights. Next time by, we are going green flag racing, 5-lap dash to determine the winner of this evening's race. The NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship round number 5 at the Texas Motor Speedway comes down to a 5-lap shootout. Ray Alfala and Josh Berry will be your front row. Sim Chassis exchanges the lines on row number 2. Robert Hall on the inside, Kevin King on the outside, and completing your top 5 is the 5 of Mike Conti.
See the 5-car Michael Conte warming his tires there. So he goes from the 5th spot. We heard earlier when we interviewed him here, that when Tim interviewed him, that he thinks he's got a great car, and if he can get some time and some green flag laps, he might get to show it. But also, right behind him, Robert Hall having a really good race. So we'll see if Josh Berry, who's led most of this race, can put it to Ray Alfalo, or if Ray Alfalo, again, will take another win.
Here we go. Pace car in, green flag flies, and Ray Alfala is gone. The number 30 of Robert Hall now in third, trying to hold off Mike Conti, and Kevin King to the outside line, going to lose at least one.
Yeah, Gorlinski really aggressive down the inside. He will pick up that spot, move his way into the 5th spot as Carson McClellan, I believe that is moving down on there underneath King also.
King is stuck to the high side, and there is the yellow flag. That might be the end of it. Josh Connors is around in corner number 3.
Yeah, it looked like as Connors did himself in there coming off corner number 2. He drifted up and he squeezed the 7-car into the outside lane and wrecked himself going down the back straightaway.
And took a wild ride in that wreck as he was on his roof and airborne for a little bit, as the 15 and the 7 are teammates. I'm not sure I really want to be in their team communication right now, but they are both teammates for MC Racing. Tough break for the 15 at Josh Connors, as he will finish at the back of the pack, and this should wrap up the race. I don't think we're going back to green.
Yeah, Michael Conti comes away in the 4th position, and for him, after that race that they had there, Tim, I'm pretty sure he's got to be pretty happy with that 4th place run, especially with that early pit stop strategy that did work out for him. But I was kind of skeptical of it, but it did work out for him.
So you're taking another look at the incident between Chad Coleman and Josh Connors. The Sea Giraffe, as they call him, took a little bit of a air ride down the back straightaway as Ray Alfala comes by. He completes 164 and begins lap 165, as if we're going to get a green flag finish of this race, lights got to go off next time by, and I don't think they will be. So Alfala, Berry, great run for Josh Berry, great run for Robert Hall to finish in 3rd. Mike Conti comes home in 4th, and in 5th is John Gorlinski. And you got to give a call out to Robert Hall as well. He came into this race 4th place in the point standings. He's going to gain a little bit on Mike Conti, and he's going to gain a little bit more on Brian Schoenberg. Schoenberg way back in position number 9.
Yeah, Robert Hall, very impressive here early in the season, as long as Conte. As far as new guys go, those guys have been doing really good. Ray Alfala, though, he stole this win with strategy. Still very fast. Josh, with a few green flag laps they had, Josh wasn't able to do anything with him, but Josh Berry led most of this race. Still a great finish for Josh Berry, and that will help bring him up a lot of point standings positions from that 47th or whatever position he is back there. 42nd or 43rd position for Berry. This will help him out, maybe even get him close to that top 25. So good run from Berry. He needed that today also.
So this time by 2 laps remaining for Ray Alfala to take away his 2nd career win at the Texas Motor Speedway. As they get 2 to go there, lights stay on, so we will finish under the caution flag here this evening. Second half of the top 10, Carson McClellan coming home in position number 6. Kevin King, after sliding back on that last green flag lap or 2, finishes in 7th. Chris Main in 8th. Brian Schoenberg 9th. And a great top 10 run for Justin Thompson in the number 98.
11th on back to 20th is Brad Davies in 11th, and that's actually a pretty good finish after getting hit there on the last caution flag. 12th place, Byron Daly. Nick Ottinger, your pole sitter, winds up 13th. Steve Sheehan, 14th. Joshua Lofton, after being involved in a couple incidents early on, or later in this race, but the earlier cautions, winds up 15th. Connor McKenzie, 16th. Thomas Hazard collected up there earlier, brings it home 17th. John Adams was up there pretty strong in the first few laps, but he'll bring it home 18th tonight. Daniel Pope II brings it home 19th. Tyler Hudson, one of the guys that he actually brought out the first caution with a little help, finishes in 20th.
And we'll go over the next 10 as the white flag is set to fly here for Ray Alfalla. He will have 1.5 miles to get back and collect his second straight victory at the Texas Motor Speedway. White flag here for your leaders. 21st on the racetrack is Thomas Lewandowski. Cyril Nussbaum will come home in 22nd. 23rd, Paul Kashiba. Landon Harrison, the Viper, finishes in 24th. Brandon Bookberger, 25th. Chad Coleman, 26th. Pedro Mojica, 27th. Alex Warren, 28th. Michael J. Johnson, after having such a good run early, going to finish in 29. And Jake Sturgis comes home in 30th.
31st, Andrew Vash III, after being involved in a number of incidents. Charles Cosper, 32nd. Josh Connors, 33rd. We'll bring her home 33rd. Chris Overland, 34th. 11 laps down, didn't finish the race, along with John Prather. Did not finish the race. Also 11 laps down, 35th. Patrick Baldwin, 16 laps down, 36th. Marcus Lindsay, 24 laps down in 37th. Brian Blackford, big crash on the back straightaway, 26 laps down in the 38th position. Vinny Sansone, 40 laps down after being involved in an incident, will finish 39th. Brad Wright will finish last, being 90 laps down after a mechanical issue, will finish in the 40th position.
Checkers are in the wind this time by, as Ray Alfalla is going to take the checkered flag and win round number 5 of the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship at the Texas Motor Speedway. The champ takes win number 1 on the season as Ray Alfalla takes the checkered flag here. Josh Berry finishes in 2nd, Robert Hall in 3rd, Mike Conti 4th, and John Gorlinski completes your top 5. And check that, that's win number 2 on the season for Ray Alfalla. So Alfalla continues to rack up the accomplishments here as a couple of drivers exchange a little bit of paint swapping on this final lap.
Yep, Alfalla brings her home again. He's going to be strong all season long, and if we can't get an interview with him here shortly.
So Ray will celebrate and light him up in victory lane as the two will come to the front straightaway, and he will celebrate here. The post-race show is coming up here on iRacing Live, as we will talk to your top 5 finishers from this evening's racing action. As Ray Alfalla lights it up, we'll step away for just a few moments' time and bring you back to post-race reaction here on PSR TV and iRacing Live. Jeremy is Richard as a true NASCAR champion is Richard. Number 7 of Richard Power. RT is $10,000 in Richard. Welcome back to the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship from the Texas Motor Speedway. And Ray Alfala is your winner. We'll see if we can't get down to victory lane and talk to driver number 2, his second win of the season. Ray, 35 laps led, but a lot of restarts at the end of that race. Walk us through those restarts.
Yeah, man, it's not helping me stay young, that's for sure. That's the longest minutes of your life there at the end. What a start to this race. It was everybody got spread out, and because this new setup stuff is allowing everybody to sort of do their own thing at the beginning, and it's providing, I think, a lot of interesting racing at the beginning. But problem is if a field does come out and that happens at the end, it ends up that way. But man, it's just a lot of stress at the end.
And 125 laps caution free. Did you possibly think that we might have gone the rest of the distance with that green flag out?
Yeah, I thought it was completely possible. I mean, everybody was racing smart. They were racing hard, but nobody was wrecking, and I don't know what brought the yellow out. But it shows the potential this series has. Unfortunately, the end of the race also shows how bad it can get. But hopefully the series, we can all just work through this. But the first, if you said 125 laps, that's a lot of laps under green. And I thought it was good to watch anyway from driving. I'll watch the broadcast a little bit later.
Win number 2, point lead. We're 5 races into the season. How big is that?
Oh, it's pretty huge. This is probably the last race before the next build, so we'll get a totally new physics and we'll have to adjust to that. So probably couldn't be in a better spot right now, and looking forward to the rest of the season.
2 weeks we head to Richmond. What are we expecting out of a short track race?
Well, it's probably my favorite short track. I'd say it's my favorite short track among my top 5 favorite tracks. Won there last year, so I'm expecting good things. Maybe green flag racing. It is a short track, so you can't expect same as here, but we'll see what happens. The new build will also maybe change the way the cars drive, so we'll have to adjust to that. So it'll be interesting just to see how everybody adjusts to everything.
Now, before we let you go to celebrate the victory, who makes it happen for the number 2 team?
Probably Consulting. Thank you to Matt Salo. Also, Junior Motorsports. We made good work. Gotta thank Steve. He helped me a lot this week. JD Layer painting this car. And PSR TV. I enjoy watching the broadcast. I'm sure I will a little later at night with a bunch of friends. And we'll see you guys at Richmond.
That's Ray Alfala, driver of the number 2 Pro Geek Consulting Chevrolet, coming home with the victory. Nim Cross has caught up with Josh Berry.
Down here with Josh Berry. Josh, a great run today, led over 100 laps. Looked like it had it in hand during the long green flag stop. Fell back a couple spots on that first yellow flag caution round. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, I don't know how it started out. I finally qualified good and jumped out there like that and really come up looking like a hero. I was pretty worried about a caution coming out, but we kept going, and I thought it might go green, and if it did, I had him on the ropes. So I was just chilling, holding my lead, taking my time with lap traffic, trying to stay out of trouble, and the caution come out and took 4, and I was surprised Ray was as good as he was on 2. I think that being mired in traffic, I think he didn't really show how good he was, but I was just too loose at the beginning on the run that we actually had, and that was when I needed to pass him. And then once it evened out, it looked like he started to get tight, and I was better, but we didn't go green long enough to see. So it's disappointing, but it feels good to run like that and lead that many laps after the season I've had.
Yeah, finally a good finish for you. 43rd in points coming in this race. This will help you a lot, get you probably up close to the top 25 into that relegation zone, and probably looking strong for a couple of races to come.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm curious to see what changes are going to be made to this thing, and hopefully it's something that's more positive for my driving style. But at this point, with such bad luck at the beginning, and that I'm really just kind of fighting for top 25 in the points, but that's all you can do.
Richmond in 2 weeks. What's that going to look like for you?
Richmond's usually a pretty good track for me. I seem to do pretty good on short tracks, so we'll have to see what. I think the whole pitting and changing your car, I think that's going to eliminate a lot of that because track position is so important and the aero is not as much. So I think it's going to be more about how fast you are and who drives smart, because those races are always going to get crazy.
You got anything coming up in real world racing?
Yeah, been doing good. Have 2/3 so far, so we've really been turning our program around. I think we're really almost there to really take it around. It's been a lot of work, but we're almost there, and I've come a long way. So I'm excited for this season. Definitely with Speedco coming on board on that, and obviously on my DWC car, I'm really excited with that. Ready to keep going.
Tell us who makes that happen for you.
Yep, I just want to thank Speedco, Truck Lube and Tires, and all my teammates for their help, and got a good car and finally got a good break tonight.
All right, very good. We'll send it back up to Tim Taylor, who's caught up with your third place finisher, Robert Hall.
Robert Hall coming home in position number 3, and man, that car looked like it was on a rail the second half of that race.
Yeah, it was definitely a little better right there at the end of the race. It was just a weird race to go green as long as we did, and have 2 green flag pit stops. I don't think we've ever done that in this series, but it was a lot of fun, and had a decent top 10 car, but kind of lucky to end up with third, I think.
A lot of restarts there at the end of the race, and you and Kevin had some great battles on those restarts.
Yeah, I owed a lot to Kevin there. He let me he backed out for me and let me in going into 3, so I didn't get brake trained by everybody there. It was a good team move by him, and just thanks a lot to him.
Looking forward, next week we head to the Richmond International Raceway. What do we expect at around number 6?
I really don't know with all this adjustment stuff going on. I don't know if it'll be big there or not, but we had some pretty fast cars at Phoenix. Just got to get the track position and everything, so I really couldn't tell you what we'll have there.
Now, before we let you go here to celebrate the third place finish, who makes it happen for the 30 team?
I just want to thank everybody at Sin Chassis, and thanks to y'all for putting on a great broadcast, and thanks to iRacing for putting on this series.
That's Robert Hall coming home in position number 3 here this evening, and keeping himself in the point battle came in position number 4. Nim Cross has caught up with Mike Conti.
Mike Conti, early pit stops. Mike Conti, early pit stops early on took you off sequence, fell back through the field. You were back up into the field, then back further back. But that caution flag, that first caution flag came out about lap 120, really helped you out. Tell us about your race.
Oh, I'll tell you the truth. I didn't expect to be as slow as I was that first run. I thought everyone was going to be on the same type of strategy, and I figured I'd be able to hold my track position. But I came to realize that that wasn't the case, so dropped back to, I think it was 39th or 40th at one point, and I was losing about 3/4 of a second a lap to the leader, so I figured I might as well pit now and try to make up some time like that. And I did, and we had that big long green flag run. It would cycle to where I'd be on the lead lap, then it'd be off, then it'd be on, then it'd be off, and it'd be nerve-wracking because, you know, if a caution would have come out when I was a lap down, I would have been trapped. So luckily the caution did come out when I was on the lead lap and up in the top 5, I think it was at that point. So that got us back up there on sequence. But the car is really good. I think I definitely had one of the best cars. It just all came down to track position and really trying to have somewhere to go, and it was just really a hornet's nest, and you can't really go anywhere when everyone's hogging the preferred line in the bottom. So it was good. It was a success, I think, for being in 40th at one point to finish 4th. So we're still up there in the points, and Alfala grabbed the lead this week, but I think we're only about 6 points behind now. So it's a tight race, and I'm having fun. And I'm not going to worry about the points too much, and just try to enjoy myself.
Yes, still right there in the point standings, and this is your first, your inaugural season in the iRacing NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship. So your top 10, your top 2 right now, still looking good. Tell us about the battle you see it and how it heads into Richmond and how you are at Richmond.
I remember Alfala, if I remember correctly, he's really good at Richmond, so that's going to give me something to shoot for in 2 weeks. But really, given the right setup and given the right car, anyone can run pretty well at Richmond. And if I can get a setup nailed down like I did for this week, I think I should be pretty good at Richmond. I've been pretty successful there. I got into pro a couple seasons back by getting a good week at Richmond and propelling myself into the top 12 at that time. But I should be okay. It's going to be a tight race. Ray's really tough. That's why he won the championship last year. So he's really good. He's a good driver, and he's using his head, and that's his second win now. So it's going to be a really tough battle for the both of us, I think. I'm going to try to give him a run for my money, for his money, next week. And just try to get another clean race in and just log another top 5. That'd be really good. I'd be happy with that.
Well, congratulations on another top 5 for you and your 4th place finish here tonight. Tell us who makes it happen for you.
I got to thank gsracing.net for sponsoring me these past couple of races. That was really cool. Scott Gramberg jump aboard here. JDR Graphics, CB Photography, the Bethwood, DCS Computers, everyone that makes it possible. It's going to be an exciting couple weeks here because we're going to have a couple new sponsors signing on next week. So hopefully look for an announcement on that on Facebook. But that should be pretty cool, and we'll be flying their colors at Richmond. So be a little bit different look for us next week. But happy about that, and looking forward to getting to Richmond.
Well, we'll look forward to that announcement coming up here shortly, and we'll send them back on over to Tim Terry with your 5th place finisher.
John Gorlinski comes home in position number 5, 125 laps of green flag racing. Had to be refreshing at the start of the race.
I wouldn't call it refreshing. Well, let me rephrase it. Yes, it was refreshing, and I was glad to see that yellow came out because my arms were tired, my hand was tired, and I was about to go lap down. And just the way the racing is these days, you got to start with some thrashed setup and kind of make the right adjustment in the race and hope it's the right one. And sometimes you can get lucky and start with a setup that's okay and then make it really good, and other times you have to start with a setup that's really, really terrible and make it decent. And I was in that boat today, and that yellow came out and I was like 24th or something like that, and I was on fairly new tires, and I made the pit call of the race and stayed out with Chris. Or I told Chris to stay out. I'm taking all credit for that. And we started up front there, and we really held our own pretty good. And yeah.
Finishing in the top 5, first top 5 of the season, moves you to 16th place in the point standings. How big is that 5 races in?
It's pretty nice. I've been caught up in the crash the first 4 races, so to be able to bring it home in one piece, especially in top 5, I mean, I probably had about a 7th place car maybe, so 5th is good on slightly older tires. I'll take that any day, especially when I get to the interview. I like talking to you guys.
Now, looking forward, what do we expect for the 21 car heading to Richmond? Do we see a checkered flag in your hand?
Oh man, I think the only way you see a checkered flag in my hand at Richmond is if everybody crashes. That's not my best track. I do get good finishes there because I have to practice so much, but I'll be honest, this season I have not been able to put in the time I used to. It hasn't hurt me too much. It's just, a lot of it's luck, and we've been missing something in the qualifying trim. I think there's a new build coming out for Richmond, so maybe I'll have that magic I had when the new tire model came out and just finish 1st, 2nd, or 3rd for the rest of the season. That'd be kind of cool.
And we'll look forward to that new build in a couple of weeks here. Before we let you go, who makes it happen for the 21 team?
I guess thank Junior Motorsports, Dale Jr., everyone on Drill Isle. I haven't got to thank them in a while. My parents usually watch, but they're probably sleeping, so I'll say hi to my girlfriend Amy, and she'll be happy. So, pretty much everybody. It's fun to come and race, and honestly, sometimes it's more fun to race with a bad setup for like 15th than it is to race up front all by yourself. Unless you're leading, that's a different story. But if you run third all race, and it gets kind of boring actually. So it's kind of fun to race in the back of the field with everybody else and see what it's like back there.
That's John Gorlinski coming home with position at number 5 here this evening. Want to throw out the Twitter winner here this evening for the Texas NiSWC race, and that was the hashtag Texas NiSWC. I am Klein is your winner. Forget the Texas toast, grab a beer, and look out for the steer. They're at Texas tonight. You can contact PSR TV to get your $10 iRacing gift card. Nimcross, final thoughts here this evening.
Well, really good race early on. A lot of 120 laps of good green flag, hard-nosed racing, as we expect from the top drivers here on iRacing. A lot of that give and take went away here at the end of the race. A lot of caution flags come out. Hopefully that will change as we come to Richmond here in a couple weeks. And new tire model, new excitement for Richmond. So we'll see how that goes.
And that is in 2 weeks' time, round number 6 of the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship from the Richmond International Speedway. You'll want to join us here on iRacing Live and PSR TV. That should be fun. So for the whole broadcast crew, Zach Stanko, PJ Losey, Ian Bushing, Ilka Hapola, Chuck Johnson, and Matt Racing Kid Thomas, my name is Tim Terry, saying that we will see you in 2 weeks' time when we say, let's go racing from the Richmond International Raceway. Keep the hammer down, and we'll see you at the track.